What's going on, guys? Dottz Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all my updated Magicka DK Inferno PvP build for the Elder Scrolls Online Scalebreaker patch. I've gone through a lot of iterations of my MagDK on my stream. If you guys have been watching my stream at all, you will have known that I've been going through a lot of different testing phases on my MagDK. Some builds have looked pretty decent. Others I've been getting absolutely destroyed and looking like I've never played my DK before. But it's been really tough for me to kind of figure out ways to adjust to the Scalebreaker patch with just, you know, how offense is and how defense is right now. And I don't know about you guys, but I basically kind of feel that on certain setups and certain classes, defense almost just kind of feels useless. Like, I feel like it's been really more beneficial this patch to just build full glass cannon and just go full offense, because that'll also translate into full defense with the really high spell damage numbers, you know, with the healing to counteract the dots, because at least for me, like resistance and mitigation, it just hasn't felt as beneficial. I don't know if other people feel the same, but that's how I've personally been feeling. And so when I've moved from going more tankier setups into a basically full glass cannon setup, which is what this is, I've been seeing much better performance on my Dragonknight, and I've been doing much better in the Scalebreaker patch. So this is a full offensive build. So if you guys like big burst, big damage, and big heals, you're going to enjoy this build. You do need to play it really smart, though. As you can see, our resistances are fairly low. So if you do put yourself in a really bad situation, you can get punished. But we are a MagDK. Our offense is our defense. So the stronger our offense, we get bigger heals in return. Huge shout out to Azrau for helping me put this build together and just kind of discussing things with me. I was having a really bad mental block near the end of this week where I really started to put this build together, and he kind of helped me work through it and gave me some, just told me what he was doing, and it finally kind of jogged my brain, and I was able to put together this build for you guys. So hopefully you really enjoy it. And again, huge thanks to Azrau for helping me put this build together. So we are running for our monsters at 2 pieces of Bloodspawn. I'm always running Bloodspawn on my DKs. It is just such a powerful set. 6% chance to generate 14 ultimate, 62-25 resistance. It's just an incredibly powerful monster set. It's really, really good for DKs, and it really offers us a lot. It gets us to that ult quicker, which means more sustain, more damage. It's just a really, really good set. We also have our primary 5-piece for the build, and that is going to be Burning Spellweave. Burning Spellweave has just always been one of my favorite sets, and it's even better for this patch. Applying the Burning status effect is really good because it gets us to that combustive passive quicker, which does have a lower cooldown on it now, so the more we can proc that, the better our sustain will be. And it just adds another dot to the build by adding that flame status effect, and this is the dot meta, so we may as well add another dot into the mix. But the other 5-piece that basically rounds out this build and makes it as big damage as it is Clever Alchemist. Clever Alchemist is just one of my favorite sets this patch. It allows you to really reach high spell and weapon damage on your characters. The 2 lines of health are also very, very welcome because it allows you to put extra, Magicka if you're Magicka, or stamina if you're stamina, into your build in other places because you get so much health off of this gear set. It's just incredibly strong, and I've been really loving it on my MagDK. As you can see, look, 638 from this proc and 507 from this proc. So when our sets proc, our damage spikes incredibly high, and that doesn't even include the weapon and spell damage glyph from our front bar weapon. So our proc spell damage is incredibly high in this build, which gives us really, really big damage, big burst, big dot tooltips, and big healing. It's just a very, very strong combination. On our back bar, we are also using the Maelstrom's Restoration Staff. I feel like, at least for me, on all my Magicka builds, I am running Rapid Regen on all of them. So because of this guy running Clever Alchemist on the front bar, I did not, need it on the back bar as well. So that allows me to use the Maelstrom Restoration Staff on my back bar and get that extra sustain from having it back there. It's just very, very, very good set to have with this build. So in terms of traits and everything, we are running full impen. I unfortunately still have 1 sturdy, so I do need to transmute this, but everything else is impen. I have 1 prismatic and the rest Magicka. I just left this prismatic on my Bloodspawn piece just because I've kind of always had it there. If you want, you can just put an extra bit of Magicka here. Go ahead. I didn't want to really take this glyph off, because if I ever use this helmet on another build, it's going to cost me like 20-something thousand gold to replace the enchant. So you can leave it as prismatic. You can put a prismatic here if you want that extra stamina and health, or you could just put a Magicka glyph if you just want the extra damage. It's really up to you. But everything else is Magicka. We're in a 5-1-1. We have 1 heavy, 1 medium, and 5 light. Optimally, you'd want your heavy piece to be your chest and your medium piece to be, you know, either your legs, your boots, your shoulders, or your helmet. That would be optimal for your resistances. And then we're going to have 3 jewelry, 3 arcane, 3 spell damage. Nirn-honed weapon and spell damage on the front bar. And I need to change this enchant. This is a defending, and I want that to be an absorb Magicka enchant. So I will be changing that enchant on the back bar. I've kind of found through my testing that I was originally trying the Oblivion glyph there, just because I thought that that could be pretty useful for dealing with a little bit of extra damage while I'm poking on my back bar. But I've kind of figured out through my testing that I'd really definitely prefer that extra Magicka restoration there, especially in no CP. I feel like it would be really helpful. You're going to notice from the gameplay footage that I have to do a bit of heavy attacking. I have to do quite a bit of heavy attacking on my resto staff bar. So I do feel that personally putting a absorb Magicka glyph on that back bar is going to go a long way in kind of fixing that problem. So moving from our gear to our stats, we are still using Flame Lash. I still love Flame Lash, man. I know some people love Molten Whip, but for me, Flame Lash, it's just the hot that this provides is just incredibly good. So you lash at an enemy, and if you hit someone who is immobile or stunned, you set them off balance, giving you Power Lash, which hits for 11.5k and heals you for 14k in 2 seconds. Very, very good skilled. Still my favorite spammable on the Magicka. I've tried Molten Whip multiple times, but I always find myself going back to Flame Lash. We are also using Burning Embers. Burning Embers has a 21k flame damage tooltip as well as 5k instant damage. It is incredibly strong this patch, and it heals us for 78% of the total damage inflicted when it ends. It's super, super good. We still use Fossilize for our stun. Not much to say about it. It is just a freaking hard CC that just hits them and roots them to the ground and stuns them. It's incredibly good. We use Elemental Drain for not only our Major Breach, but also Minor Magicka Steal. This is where the majority of the sustain in the build comes from. It's from Elemental Drain, so it's incredibly important. And we also have Engulfing Flames, dealing instant damage 7.2k as well as 11k over 12 seconds. And enemies take 10% more damage from all flame attacks, which means our Burning Embers is going to tick that much harder. The dot from this skill is going to tick harder. The Flame Lashes are going to hit harder. And our Ferocious Leap is going to hit harder. So we are using Ferocious Leap to get that, you know, burst ultimate on our front bar. It's incredibly good. That's what DKs are known for, the big DK dunk. We also have Structured Entropy on our back bar, a 23k tooltip on Structured Entropy, healing for 1100 every 2 seconds, as well as giving us Major Sorcery. This is incredibly, incredibly strong dot now. I choose to go with the Structured Entropy morph because of the hot that is attached to it. Right now, at least through my testing, I have found that in many situations, and I dare to say most, hots are just, they feel, at least to me, a lot more beneficial than like just pure straight up like tankiness or defense or whatever. At least through for many of my classes that I play, I have found that getting the extra hots has been very helpful. So that is why I went with the Structured Entropy morph, and it has been doing wonders for me. I'm also running Rapid Regen, just super necessary in today's meta to get this freaking hot, man. It's super helpful for counteracting all of the dots that we are getting placed on us. I am still using Coagulating Blood. Coagulating Blood is really good for our burst heal. I still do find that I need one when I get low and my hots are ticking, but I'm still kind of like taking a lot of damage. Being able to coag once or twice to get back up on my health a little bit to kind of help my hots keep up is really, really good, especially for when I come out of Mist form, because I am using Elusive Mist this patch. One second, let me take a sip of water. I am using Elusive Mist this patch. The reason I'm using Elusive Mist is because of the fact that we are seeing a bit of a drop in the use of Dawnbreaker by many people, simply because the new Onslaught is incredibly good. So because of that, I think Vampirism is become much more of a viable option. But even more, Wings is, in my opinion, this patch really bad, because what does Wings not protect against? The dot damage of projectiles. So it doesn't protect against like the dots, which is what's killing a lot of people this patch. So, in my opinion, Elusive Mist is a bit better here because you take 75% less damage, you get that major expedition and can kite around and get to where you need to be so that you can actually heal yourself back up, as opposed to just, you know, hitting wings and trying to sprint and just dying and being upset. You know, so I personally think Elusive Mist is the way to go for your defensive buff. I don't even think Race Against Time is worth it. I think it'll make you way too squishy. I really want a defensive skill here, especially with how Glass Cannon the build is in the gear department. So I have found Elusive Mist to be pretty necessary. We're also running Volatile Armor as our armor buff. Not much to say about that. It's just our armor buff. And then we also have Temporal Guard in the back bar. I like Temporal Guard for the minor protection. I find it to be very useful, especially while mist forming. An extra 8% on top of the 75% is extremely helpful. Also, it's just really nice to be able to take 8% less damage from everything while I'm allowing my hots to do their work. So I really, really like Temporal Guard back here. If you do not have the Sigic Order, I would highly recommend using Life Giver instead, while using the Healing Ward, Combat Prayer, and Rapid Regen morphs, because you will get these two skills when you cast Life Giver. Now, in terms of our stats, we are sitting at 36.2k maximum magicka, 20.5k health outside of Cyrodiil. It's a lot of HP, man. We have 15.7k stam, 884 magicka recovery. Now, I know people are going to be like, Dottz, there's no way you play with 884 magicka recovery. Because I get that question all the time when I post these builds. There's no way you play with 884 magicka recovery. I do. Very successfully. I don't find this to be too low. And the reason it's not too low is because of Elemental Drain. We gain 600 effective magicka recovery from Elemental Drain, okay? So that puts us at a very respectable magicka recovery. And not only just that, we are a Breton on this build, okay? Because we are a Breton, we gain basically Seducer for free. 7% reduced cost of our magicka skills, and we're in light armor, okay? We're in a 5-1-1. 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. So this allows us to play with really, really low recovery and get all damage out of our glyphs and other stuff. I just really love Breton for MagDK, which is, I definitely recommend it. Unbuffed, we're at 25, 45 spell damage is obviously going to get juiced up to crap when all of our stuff procs. We have 32% unbuffed spell critical. That will obviously get buffed up when we pop our potion. And we have 16.7k spell resist, 9.3k physical resist, and this will eventually be over 3k crit resist. We're using the Apprentice Mundus. We are a vampire, and we are using Tri-Stat Food. And for our potion, we are using Essence of Spell Critical, Major Prophecy, Restore Health, and Restore Magicka. I do not like Cauterize anymore this patch. I don't think Cauterize ticks often enough to deal with all of the dots, so I'm choosing to completely forego it on my build and just get my Major Prophecy from my potions. In terms of champion points, we are running 19 into Blessed, 56 into Elfborn, 64 into Elemental Expert, 38 into Spell Erosion, 56 into Master at Arms, 37 into Thaumaturge, 56 into Ironclad, 53 into Resistant, 56 into Thick Skin, 43 into Hardy and Elemental Defender, and 19 into Quick Recovery, 2 into Sprinter, 23 into Siphoner, 66 into Warlord, 75 into Arcanist, 43 into Tenacity, and 61 into Tumbling. All right. So, in terms of general rotation for the build, again, pretty straightforward. MagDK is about two things: buff maintenance and debuff maintenance. That is what MagDK is all about. So you want to maintain Entropy, Volatile Armor, Engulfing Flames, Elemental Drain, and Burning Embers at all times. You want to maintain that stuff at all times. Fossilize, Lash, Leap. Profit. So if you maintain all of that stuff and then hit them with a Fossilize, hit them with a Flame Lash, and then go into your Power Lash, you're gonna be dealing a ton of damage. Now, one thing that I do recommend when you use your Power Lash is you want to play mind games a little bit. So, when you have all your dots up and everything, you hit them with your Fossilize, right? You Flame Lash the first time when they're in that stun. If they CC break, I personally recommend maybe making your skill right after that CC break something else that isn't Power Lash, because most people will instinctively, after CC breaking your Fossilize, when they see that they're still rooted, they will dodge roll. So they will dodge roll your Power Lash. So if you do something like a Burning Embers or an Engulfing Flames afterwards, if they dodge it, they dodge Burning Embers or Engulfing Flames. Not a big deal. But If they don't dodge roll, you'll get a reapplication of one of those 2 skills, then you can follow it up with your Power Lash. You could also fossilize into Leap. Once you get everything rolling, you just fossilize into Leap, into your Lash combos. Defensively, basically your goal is to just Mist Form to safety, use Rapid Regen, and use Coag. Very, very simple. Oh, let me just, by the way, show you Buffed Crit. Buffed Crit is 42.6%, so our crit rating is fairly high. But that is the general gist of the build and how you want to play it. Like I said, rotationally, it's very, very straightforward. You could also use Temporal Guard to do some tricky stuff if you get in certain situations where you take this huge chunk of burst and you want to say lol XD and undo all of it. But that is it, guys. That is the build, the Inferno build updated for the Scalebreaker patch. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this build video. If you did, please smack a like on it. Any questions, leave a comment below. And for more great ESO content, hit the sub button as well as the bell to keep notifications on. I'm really, really happy with how this build came out. I didn't really test this one on stream, by the way. I know I've been playing my Magicka a bit on stream, and it was a bit of an abysmal performance, but I really put this together off stream, and I'm really happy with how it is, and you're going to see from the gameplay footage, it's like a night and day difference between what I was doing on stream and what you're going to see from the gameplay. So, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the gameplay, and I will see you all next time.
Going as I'd hoped.
Whew, he almost had me. Almost. But not quite. All right, so a good game. Very good game overall. The one thing that I noticed that I did a bunch of times is I frickin' used my potion on my back bar. You have to remember to use your potion on the front bar. Okay? I made that mistake a bunch of times, and I lost a bunch of spell damage because of it. So be sure to make sure that you're always drinking that potion on your front bar. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay video, though, man. That was a lot of fun. Build is really, really enjoyable, and I hope you guys like it, man. So thanks for stopping by the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.